The engine is still
We're for launch. GC, go. Guidance, go. Fido, go. Prop, go. GNC, go. Max, go. Eagle, go. Ecom,
go. Pending final steps. The cabin link check.
3, 2, 1.
Is there anyone here that would like to communicate with us? Can you give us a sign?
Welcome to the Riff Nation Network, the RNN, putting a slide in your glide and a dip in your hip. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe. With shows throughout the week, you can find us at Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and more. Everything you could want, everything you can need right here, right now. From the paranormal to the supernatural. From comedy to the spiritual. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
It's showtime, folks!
Podcast may contain material that some listeners may find sensitive, offensive, or disturbing. We strive to create respectful and informative content, but topics discussed may include mature themes such as violence, explicit language, or controversial subjects, triggering content including discussions related to mental health, trauma, or other sensitive issues, explicit language. Occasionally, our guests or hosts may use strong language. While we aim to handle these topics with care and empathy, we encourage listeners to exercise discretion. If you find any content distressing, consider skipping or seeking support. Remember that this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice. If you need assistance, please consult a qualified expert.
Welcome to Riff Nation Network and Becoming Universally Aligned. We are streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, Spotify, and more. You can hit subscribe and like, and you can also set the notifications on here as well so you don't miss out on any of the great shows that we have all week. I am Cindy Waghorn, and I am your host of Becoming Universally Aligned. And you can find my email address on the ticker below, as well as the network's email address if you want to connect with any of the hosts. So speaking of any of the hosts, so tonight we are talking with Linda Nelson. And she is a co-host of tomorrow's show, The Cosmic Cushion, with Susan. And so a bit about Linda. I'm just going to read her bio that she gave me. Linda is a clinical hypnotherapist. She's based in Washington. And she helps people assess deep relaxation, inner clarity, and meaningful personal transformation. Trained in nutritional holistic health, she brings a whole person approach to her work, blending mind, body, and emotional well-being. Linda has also facilitated online grief support groups, creating safe, compassionate spaces where people can share their stories about loved ones who have passed and feel witnessed in their healing. Her work centers on connection, calm, and honoring the experience that shape us, making her a natural fit for conversations about surrender, healing, and the power of hypnosis. So I am going to bring Linda on here. Just one second. There we go. Hi, Linda.
Hi, Cindy. Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for coming on. Now, you are on tomorrow on Cosmic Cushion. And have you made it through your 3-part series?
We did on emotional abuse.
Okay.
And yeah, been recorded and they're on YouTube if anybody would like to rewatch them, or you can reach out to me or Susan and we can give you the links.
Yes, so I caught the first one and I've been having to catch them on replay just because I wasn't available at that time. But we'll get into telling people what time to catch you tomorrow. And I guess if they set their notifications, they'll be able to see that too. But yeah, so thank you so much for coming on because I think that, and as we were saying in your bio, that the reasons that people would want to have a session with you is for physical ailments that they've been having, for emotional things that they've been having. So physical, emotional, and actually spiritual connection as well, too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, all of
Yes.
the above.
So my favorite, my things to do with people journey. Usually that's a little bit of going back, and sometimes it's back present, and we kind of move back that. And those are my favorite things to do with hypnosis. But of course, there's all kinds of other reasons you might want to see a hypnotist.
Right. Yes.
So sometimes,
For anything, like even for, do you get into cessation, like quitting smoking, quitting drinking, any of those things as well? Yeah.
they are not my favorite subject to do. Is very effective, but usually those go deeper. Would be doing a session like that. I would prefer to do multi sessions so that you don't want to trade one addiction for another.
Right. Okay. Okay. Let's look at the chat here. We have a lot of people on the chat.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah, we have quite a few people in here. Let me go back up to the top. Can you see this, Linda? You? Or just
Yeah, I can.
okay.
Are you
So
able to?
yes. So Kevin, Z Sun Dragon, thank you for joining tonight. Thank you for watching. And Adam is here as well. I think Adam has mentioned that he's interested in the past life regression as well. And Kathy, thank you for joining us tonight. She's saying hi to everyone. Everyone is chatting in the chat. I love it. I love it.
I know, me too.
Yeah, and it keeps us active as well, right? Oh, okay. So
Oh
now
yeah, it's very
everyone's
yeah.
saying hi to you, and Denise is here too. Hi, Denise. Thank you for watching. Okay. So, do you want to? I think also on your show you did go through the steps or the process. Oh, I'm echoing. Did you hear that?
I did.
Oh, okay. So,
If you
but
think
you
it's
had,
from me, I can try to
oh,
disconnect this over here and go to the regular one.
oh, well, it's not there right now. I'm not
Okay.
sure. That was funny. Um, but so you have gone through the process. So when you meet with someone, so you want to sit down and you could be talking to them for quite a while about why they're coming. And then do you talk about, I want to say, a safe space? So like something that is going to recall them back if you get into a situation, or no? Do you do it that way? Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I have a little. It's usually not very long, maybe 10 or 15 minutes. Making sure that they feel comfortable with me before I schedule an appointment. Um, Sometimes it's a little text going back and forth and a brief conversation, and then we can talk a little bit at the beginning. The sessions themselves typically last around 35 to 40 minutes after the introducing and just the stuff to talk about, and the building a rapport between me and the person that wants to be hypnotized. So we go through that, and then there's different ways. I like to tell people it's a very natural state of mind. If you were driving down the highway and you missed your stop sign or your stoplight or your exit, you were probably in highway hypnosis. It's very natural. Um, Also, when we're watching commercials and we decide that we really have to have that thing that we saw in the commercial, like Dairy Queen ice cream, they're using hypnosis to get to you. So it's very natural, and it's a very subtle feeling. But I try to take people a little deeper than that as we're going into hypnosis. So there's different kinds of ways to go in it. Generally, there's a focal point involved, and there's relaxation, and you want to go deeper that they can get in touch.
Okay. Okay. So is it a meditation then? Do you do kind of a meditation or sounds or anything like that?
It depends on the. I've been done, for entertainment purposes, and I've been to places where I would go up to somebody, introduce myself, and my name's Linda. Nice to meet you. What's your name? And I'm like, I'm a hypnotist. Have you ever been hypnotized? We'll go through the quick conversation. And I said, would you like to be hypnotized? And I say, do I have your? Go yes. And all of a sudden, I'll grab their hand, or tap their shoulder or something, and I'm like, sleep. I've had guys that are my like guys. You have to brace yourself to make sure they don't fall down. But yeah,
Oh my
so
goodness.
that it can be quick like that,
Yeah,
or it can
so
be slow and relaxing.
do you know well you will know who Howie Mandel is.
Yes,
So he has a brother, Mike Mandel, that it does that.
yes. And
And
he's
he
been to some of the conferences that I've been to.
wow, that's so cool. Um, so Adam says yes, he is interested in past life. He says yes, I am. And Howie is here, tipping,
Hi,
bowing, and
Howie.
tipping his top hat. He says,
Oh,
"Oh,
I
oh,"
like
and
his
he
top
says,
hat.
"Aren't these two amazing?" Oh, that's so nice. So
Oh,
nice.
thanks, Howie.
Thank you. Um, so I'm not. Are you connecting with me very well? Are you able to hear me all the time? Because on screen it kind of cut out a little bit.
Yeah, I'm noticing every once in a while we have a little cutout, and then it'll come back, and I can pretty much,
Okay.
kind of
Okay.
get where you were.
I think we're doing good though. I think we'll be able to get through. Um,
Yeah,
so
sometimes technology is not all it's cracked up to be.
so as soon as so that when you just touch that person, like are you calling in like a higher power, a guide to help you with this?
So that's a really interesting question, because when they are going into hypnosis with me, I kind of go into a trance with them, and I will say things that just I hadn't really planned on, and it's things that they needed to hear for whatever reason, and I may never know the reason, but it's something for them. So I'm moving my hands around naturally to generate the energy where it needs to go.
Okay.
So it's a very interesting question, and not
Yeah.
I don't know that everybody does that, but I have found myself doing it. The more I got into doing hypnosis with people, the more I noticed that I did that.
Well, and I guess when I say that now, I think, oh, that's a silly question for me to ask because our guides are working with us at all the time, right? Like for everything that we do, we have a guide working with us. But yeah, that's super neat. I would love to see a session. Have you ever had anyone that would authorize to record so that you could have one?
I have not yet, because they tend to be so personal. Although in group sessions that I've done, you have a group of people and they're all having different experiences. So when I do the group session, I like to leave time at the end so everybody can ask each other questions and compare their experiences.
Okay. So now, how does it happen, or what happens when there is a group there? Are they all there for their own personal reason? Like, would that be the spiritual setting where someone is
Yeah,
looking?
I so it could be for anything. There are group sessions that people do for stop smoking. But
Okay.
when I do a group session, I like to be able to take them on a journey that is personal to each of them, and they're going to know what that is. Their guides are going to talk to them. Their inner gods and goddesses will speak to them, or their higher power,
Okay.
whatever their belief system is. But yeah, so they will have their own unique experience in that container.
Oh, that's so neat. Um, so I wondered too, so we were talking a little bit earlier about like there's certain myths with hypnosis where the person, like you say, how that person fell asleep right away.
Mhm.
So I think some of the myths is that people will lose control and not come out of it. And
Yeah.
that is, do you want to touch on that
I can.
further?
I can a little bit.
Okay.
So, generally, if you're in hypnosis, you're going to be aware on some level of what's going on around you. If an alarm went off or you started hearing sirens or banging on your door, you would be right back to the room and be able to take care of anything that you wanted to take care of. Most times when you're under hypnosis, you are going to remember everything, although sometimes it'll be fleeting kinds of memories. And very often people will remember things about their hypnotic session after they leave in their dreams, or when they're driving down the street they might see something that is familiar, and then they'll remember all that. But I really like to keep the suggestion when I take people into hypnosis that they are going to be able to remember everything,
Right.
because and I'm very 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 concerned about, do I have permission? Can I tap you on the shoulder? If I touch your forehead, is that going to be a problem? Some people don't want to be touched, and that's okay. But I'm very much into this consent thing, that they have to
Yeah.
be consenting to everything. So I'm probably not going to be the person that walks up to somebody and says sleep without their permission, or make them bark like a dog or
Oh,
cluck like a
yeah.
chicken.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's for entertainment purposes only.
Hmm.
I think at one a work event or a Christmas party, I can't even remember what it was, but some of the volunteers went up, and those are the kinds of things that they do at those events. So they don't
Yeah,
really get into your being or trying to remember anything. It's just for show.
right.
But a lot of those people would say that they didn't recall being on the stage. So, but let's face it, like sometimes we remember our dreams, sometimes we don't remember our dreams,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
So
so
it's kind of like the same thing. We're in kind of a dreamy state. It's similar to the way people feel in meditation, but I'd like to think that, or explain it, that it might be just a few levels deeper than that, or a level deeper than that.
okay. That was another question I was going to ask you. Renee has us shared out. Thank you so much, Renee, for doing
Okay.
that and watching with us. And Lois is here too. Lois is here saying hello
Hi,
to you and
Lois.
I. That's wonderful. Um, so yeah, that was one of my questions too, is how did I word it? I put it on my phone here. Let me just go in and yeah, about people, are people safely able to hypnotize themselves? like if you're wanting to go to heal something in this lifetime, and you know up around about the area of time that something happened and you want to heal that, is there is there any way that someone could do that themselves safely?
Going into self hypnosis, yes. I love to teach people how to do that. I have been able to being on them. I grip for dear life and pray and anything I could. But yeah, using self hypnosis, I just noticed one day when I was up in the sky that, oh, we didn't have that overwhelming fear anymore. So yeah, it's kind of cool. And I've used that a few different times for that. I've used it when I've gone into pain from an injury and being in shock to kind of calm myself and to, kind of dull that pain until they could take
Okay.
care of me.
Okay. Yeah.
It can be very powerful, and you can also sometimes some people are able to access their past lives by doing self hypnosis and learning
Okay.
how to do that. It's
Okay.
like anything practice. The more they practice, the deeper they can go.
Okay. Interesting. I love it. And Mish is here. Hi,
Hi,
Mish.
Mish.
Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Um, what else is I going to ask you? Um, would you, if you were with a client or someone who is looking for a session, would you take them right to a previous lifetime, or would you want them to just work on this lifetime first, or how does that work actually?
So usually I will take people back in time, and very often it may take a few sessions before they get to where they're comfortable going back. I recently worked with somebody who wanted to do a past life regression, and I told her, I said, it doesn't that doesn't always happen, and doesn't always happen right away. But I took her back. I did like 3 sessions with her, and she was able to go back to her early years and remember people in her life that had been gone for a while. And then this last one that I did with her, she remembered a dress that she was wearing that was not like any modern dresses here. So she was kind of like back there a little bit. And I told her, I said, expect to see dreams, expect that you might be walking along one day and just have this fleeting memory or vision of something or hear something. Because really hypnosis, it can be like any kind of the clairs. You can get your past life through visualizing it. You could get it through listening, smelling, feeling, any of those sensations.
Right. And now, are you guiding them, like you're guiding them on this journey, right? So you are speaking with them, and are they responding as well?
Most times people are very quiet. Sometimes they will nod. Sometimes we give what we call an idiomotor signal, which they might, and I teach them this before they go into hypnosis and then after they're into hypnosis, where they would raise their finger if it's a yes, or
Okay.
raise another finger if it's a no. And so they'll sometimes do that. But a lot of times people are so relaxed that they don't want to talk, and that's perfectly okay because it's theirs. I'm trying really hard not to lead them other than, going back to, something that they said they wanted to do.
Right. And so for time wise, I guess if they're not speaking, how do we know, or how would you, what would the telltale sign be that someone is in hypnosis and has completed what they were wanting to do?
Usually there's a breathing that goes through with it. Sometimes there's body language things. You can movements, and they're subtle. You just have to kind of watch them. I don't really like to do on the phone hypnosis sessions, and if I do like them on Zoom, which is my favorite way to do it, I prefer to have them where I can see them completely.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. So I'll generally, and sometimes their houses aren't. Oh, there's like construction going on in the background or loud noises if they're in a place that's loud, and so I'll remind them that as they are going into hypnosis, they're going to hear noises, and it's just going to remind them to go deeper and deeper into the hypnosis. So
Oh, nice.
that kind of helps out a lot.
Yeah. Um, Smish is saying, smiles, excited to
Aw,
catch us live. Yes, we're
me too.
excited
I
you're
love
here
to hear.
too. Um, so I don't know if you have any experiences that you can share, but do you have any that surprised you or excited you? You know how a lot of the times some people come to us and I was just talking about this today, but a lot of times people come to us and it's teaching us something,
Hmm.
right? Have you had any experiences like that?
And I think everything does. Early on, when I started learning hypnosis, I was taking a young uh, group of young girls into hypnosis, and they one of them in particular, she wasn't. I think it was she wasn't going in the way that I was trying to get her to go into hypnosis. So I kind of have to switch, and I found this happen more than one time. So you switch gears, and this particular lady, I told her to look at her feet and describe what she was wearing on her feet. And she went right into hypnosis like that. Another person I was taking into hypnosis, and they were having a really hard time, and they had told me that they have a really hard time with control. So I just like kind of gently took them into hypnosis where they were in a boat and relaxing, and the boat was just kind of bouncing up and down, and then he went right out.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, those
Yeah.
are really nice, and they're always surprising. And they had taught me that not to be so rigid when I'm doing what I'm doing, and this is why I don't really like scripts so much,
Mm,
because then you can move and flow and do whatever you need to do to help that person get to where they want to go.
yeah. Um, I think scripts are good for in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times they'll create them and then it'll have with the numbers counting down, right? And then to pull you out as well is counting down.
Yeah, and
Um,
those are great to get people into hypnosis because there's different ways that they can relax, and that's kind of, when I first started, I'd have these notes and I could just look and say, oh, okay, but, I'm this place, and now I don't really need that anymore. But at the
yeah.
beginning, it was nice to have a little bit of a guide.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. So Mish is asking a question here. Um, can you see your hands in hypnosis? She was told you can't see your hands in a dream.
That's a good question. I would imagine. I mean, I hadn't heard that you can't see your hands in a dream. Um, I'm trying to think of all the dreams that I've had, and I can't. Like people can see their feet. I think there's probably, if you wanted to see your hands in a dream, or maybe you didn't. Maybe there's a reason you don't. It could be. It's possible that it could be something you picked up from a past life when you maybe didn't have your hands, or something happened to them. I don't know. I don't. That's a good question.
Mm,
I don't have a better
interesting.
answer for you. I'm sorry.
Oh, Heidi. Heidi is here. Thank you for watching. Oh, I clicked
Yeah.
on the wrong one. She's saying hello. I'm late. I broke our new fish tank and driving now to pick one up. Aw.
If you want anything to happen to your fish.
No, goodness. Drive safe. And thank you so much for sharing us out and all the work that you do, Heidi. It's awesome. Thank you.
So one thing I wanted to say, getting back to the thing about the hands, is very often there is a technique that I've used where I have people watch their hands and then watch the spaces in their hands, and they're going into hypnosis actually looking at their hands. So that's the last thing they see before they go out.
Okay. Interesting. Um, oh, I have dropped everything. Oh, I wonder what that means. I guess I don't know. I haven't actually looked at the astrology today, of what it would be causing her to drop things
I
today.
do that
But
all the time. It's
yeah,
just
sometimes
a
you just
thing.
have that one of those days where things are off balance, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Tripping and bumping into things, and maybe just need to do some grounding or clearing or something like that.
Seems like the story of my life. I'm always being into something.
Oh, so Mish is saying, all good, Linda, just curious. Just a curious human.
That's the way to go into everything with a curiosity. I think we learn so much
Yeah,
in that way, and we open ourselves that way as well
yeah.
to experiences and learning.
Okay. Slippery fingers, Heidi. Let me see what else was I going to ask you. Oh, the deepness. So how do you? So I talked about some of the scripted things where you're counting, right? But
Mhm.
what would another? How would you get someone deeper into hypnosis?
So a lot of times I will do it with breathing. I will do it with counting down. Sometimes even in the middle of their session, if I see that they seem to be like extra fidgety or something, or in a place where they seem distressed, I will have them either count up or count down, and then sometimes I'll take them out of hypnosis. We'll talk for a minute, and then I'll take them right back in, and with the instruction that when you go back into hypnosis, you're going to go back to right where you were and even deeper. And so it's a lot of wording and a lot of listening to what's being said. And as they relax and let go, then they can go even deeper.
Yes. So you're constantly watching their mannerisms, their breath,
Mhm.
all of that, right?
And even the colors on their faces, sometimes on people's faces, sometimes they'll get flushed, sometimes they'll be a little pale, sometimes just like little tiny movements that we might not notice normally. But
Yeah.
because I'm there and connecting with them, I'm much more aware of that.
Yeah. Um, and so how do people feel afterwards? Do they kind of like do they have that wow moment right after, or does it take a little bit of time for
Sometimes
everything to adjust and sink in, you know what I mean?
Sometimes they do, but I try to take them back very slowly and then have them awake and have a conversation with them about their experience, what they liked about it, if there was anything that they noticed. But very often they'll just tell me, "Oh wow, I saw this or I thought of this thing." And so that seems to be a part of most sessions. I try not to push anybody out as soon as we're done. Take your time, come back to earth. I don't want you going out driving for a while.
Oh
Just
yeah, for sure.
like come back slowly and don't do anything really harsh right away. Have some water, maybe some comfort food if that's what you want. But most times they're feeling pretty good and feel very relaxed and rested.
Right. And that's the thing that probably after it feels like they've just had an amazing sleep or amazing
Mhm.
dream, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And once they get over that initial part of waking up, a lot of times they feel like they've had a really good nap.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, Lois is saying Mercury retrograde and Saturn getting ready to go into retrograde.
A lot of stuff's going on in the stars today and this month.
Yes. Yeah. And yesterday too, like I was so happy to see the sky blue and clear again, and no smoky smell outside.
I want
And
to see that too. It's,
mhm,
it's so hazy out here. I want to
yeah.
see that too.
Oh, yeah.
They've called
Um,
the National Guard in out here, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and I was just kind of thinking, oh, I wonder if how it is up there because I'm not even close to it, right? Here in St. Mary's. So, oh,
Yeah, there's a lot of people been showing pictures and things.
yeah. Mish is saying, go wash your hands in salt. Yeah, that will clear any little energy from you for sure.
That's good.
Oh, yes, Lois. So I'm not even very, like, it's probably 8 hours away from us, but it's just how, I mean, even in the towns here, like, things have been shut down just because of the air quality. Any outdoor events, we have the limestone quarries for swimming, and that was closed couple days, I think, just because of the air quality. I think there was some events, like music events going on as well that were shut down because of air quality too. So,
Don't you feel like too you can kind of feel and be very empathetic because you're feeling the vibrations that are coming from people who are really hurting and needing help?
yeah, yeah, definitely. Like, I don't know. I think it makes you fearful because I think if you're sensing it and you're smelling it here, then it pulls it even closer to you, right?
Right.
So Lois is getting smoke in Virginia as well. Yeah.
I remember when Mount St. Helens blew. I lived in Connecticut at the time, and we were getting ash all the way over there.
Well, and you know what? I was walking the dog the one day too, and and I thought it was ash, and I thought, am I imagining this that it's falling on me? But it's very possible, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Especially that one day when the sky was so yellow. But
Yeah.
um,
It's easy to
so
get off on different tangents when we're having chats, isn't it?
yeah. I wondered about, so can you explain possibly about, so hypnosis is getting into your subconscious, right? And
Yeah, it's
through,
bringing your subconscious into your conscious mind.
okay. And we need to be in, can you go over the four brainwave levels for people? If they may
Okay,
already know this, but
I always know all the things. There are actually a whole bunch more. I don't
okay.
know them all by heart. The two that I work with the most are the delta waves and the theta waves. The theta
Right.
waves, which will bring on REM sleep and help you get dreams, and then the delta waves will help you get a deeper sleep. So
Right.
both are really important. But if you want to dream and you want to dream kind of more consciously, maybe you might want to play a recording that has theta waves going on it. Like you could ask, we have Alexa over here, and I ask her very often to play that for me before I'm going to sleep, or if I'm like, even in the afternoon, if I want to lay down and I want to dream for that. And so a lot of times they'll come there. That's a good time to keep your dream journal right next to you. So when you wake up, even if you can't remember exactly everything about that dream, once you start writing, things will just come out
Yeah.
and be surprised. I mean, it kind of, without even realizing it, you're remembering everything.
Yeah, it'll start to flow for you. And even just putting the pieces together, you may get parts of it one night and then parts, will keep opening up more.
Yeah, like we were talking earlier before we started on the show, Cindy and I were talking about dreams, and I was mentioning that very often I had these similar dreams, and they would just kind of continue from another thing, and it was like I had been there all along. So if it was past life, or maybe I was just traveling in my dream, it could have been any of that, but they were very real to the point where they seemed like I I was actually at the places that I dreamed of.
Yeah. Oh, that's so neat. I wanted to read, like, before Linda and I got together. I often will pull cards, just, to get ideas about, questions to ask and put me in a mindset about it. So, my cards are over on that desk over there, so I don't have them. But the Hypnos did come out, and
Oh,
so
that
for
was really
Greek,
cool.
I know, and like before I was shuffling, I was I was thinking, I think this card's going to come out, right? Like there's so many in the deck, and then of course
Yeah.
it does come out. So it is. I just want to say about this too. Hypnos. The keywords when this card comes out too is dreams, sleep, rest, and astral self. So when that card comes out, you may have been dreaming and doing some astral travel, things like that too. So Hypnos is the god of sleep, and it
I
is
like his
from
wife. You
what's
said that.
that?
I like how you said the god of sleep, but then the son of Nyx, who was the goddess of night, which I really liked.
Yes, yes, exactly. The son of Nyx and goddess of night. It is from his name that we get the word hypnotized. This means to put someone into a trance or state of deep relaxation. So the main message of this card is simply rest. So that's when this card comes out, that it is about rest. So I won't just go into all of it because it was just ironic or synchronic that it
Synchronicity.
came out when I wanted it to. So, but what
Cool.
it is to saying about this card is to try and see at bedtime, to set a date with Hypnos. So ask him to bless you with informative dreams that can help you during the day. Hypnos is associated with the astral self and astral travel. So lay back, relax, and follow where the God of sleep, leads. Allow Hypnos to lull you into a deep, restful slumber.
I like that. Yeah, and
Yeah.
if I'm having trouble going to sleep, a lot of times I will do self hypnosis to help me
Mm.
get there. It doesn't take very long that way. I just want to address Adam's comment here.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
asking about the fires in Washington. And I'm just saying, yes, Washington and Oregon, especially the East, are having a lot of them.
Yeah. Yes. So hopefully, so I noticed too that the water level is low. Hopefully, too, they're under control. I haven't actually been on the news. I've been kind of staying away from that on the weekend. News and actually a lot of social media too, I have been staying away from.
Sometimes that's a good break.
Yeah,
It's a
definitely.
good time to practice self hypnosis too.
So,
Connect with what's around you.
so for what would someone do to get into self hypnosis? Can you explain that to us?
So generally, I will work with somebody when I'm having a hypnosis session with them, and I like to think that as I'm taking them into hypnosis, they are learning what they can do. And if that is like a real priority for them, we can go over that and over it, a few times before they ever leave. And so that they can easily go into that. It's a good time with self hypnosis to visualize, what you want in your life, what you want to attract, what you want to accomplish, almost anything. But self hypnosis is pretty powerful. How you want to look, where your bucket list things are, and you can imagine as if you were actually there what it looked like. It's kind of like when you get lost in a book. My mom used to tell me that I could go places and books would be my best friend, which she was so right, because I can get lost in a book and be right there where they're describing. You can do the same thing in hypnosis. You can imagine where you want to be, and
Oh, yeah.
And then
Um,
if you want it bad enough, it can happen.
yeah, there was, I want to say I was in like, maybe it was grade 4, could have been grade 2. I know it was at a certain school that was up to grade 4, but um, we used to gather in the library and she would read from a book. And I ended up getting that book. And oh man, it was The Secret World of Og.
Oh,
And do you remember that book? And
it's
it was all about little caves and things like that. And yeah, I just loved that book. And same thing as they were reading it aloud, I was visualizing and I was in there. I was seeing the colors, all of that, right?
and that's hypnosis.
Yeah.
You're right there, and it doesn't have to be that deep. I mean, a lot of people think it's just the deep and the feeling like you're asleep kind of thing, but it does not have to be that deep for it to work.
Mm, interesting. And that's how they get us at stores, right?
Hmm.
In the music and in the lights to buy
The
things. There's
music,
something
yeah.
that
If you're in a
can turn
bakery or the store, you know how, I don't know, Safeway over here, they always bake bread around 4 to 5 o'clock, and they say, oh, there's going to be fresh bread going around the store.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, and who doesn't want fresh bread? I mean,
Yeah.
the smell sends you into a trance of remembering the last time you had a nice piece of fresh bread with butter or honey or something on it.
Yeah. It's a love and connection for sure. Adam is saying, oh, okay, we have been having floods, even a small tornado. Oh, yeah, there has been a lot of
So
tornadoes. I
I'm
saw
sorry.
that too. Um,
We'll
and
all
he
hold
left.
each other in our thoughts and prayers and love.
Yes, definitely. Love getting lost in a book. Um, so I wanted to ask too, because I can guarantee there's some people in the chat that have loved ones or themselves. We were talking about the sleepwalking, and you know how a lot of people will say if someone is sleepwalking, don't wake them, just
Mhm.
kind of guide them back.
Keep
Um,
it safe.
So is that part of the hypnosis too, that like you don't wake someone up when they're in the middle of something, or is that a
It can,
myth?
well, I don't know. It can be kind of a shock to somebody's system to just be like pulled out, like, they're having this dream or this thing, and I always would err on the side of being gentle and lulling somebody kind of back into where they need to be. um yeah, to just like shake somebody and say, wake up, what are you doing? Of course, if they're going out in the street and they're going to get hit by a car, yeah, you want to do that. But for the most part, I would let them just enjoy where they're at and just make sure that they're not going to be in danger.
Yes, and that they're safe, right? That they're not going out the door, getting in the car when they're
Yeah,
in that
yeah, that
state,
kind of stuff.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and I wonder too that that's just the deep state that their mind is in at the moment, right?
Hmm. Yeah, and
Yeah.
that has something to do with frequencies and the brain waves while you're in sleep. And usually your body is kind of paralyzed when you're in the deep REM sleep, so that you aren't getting up and doing that. And I don't know why sometimes that doesn't always work for people that are sleepwalking. I don't have a real good answer for that, but it does have to do with brain waves and the frequencies of those brain waves.
Mm, okay. Um, so Mish, I'm over here living in a warm but cold
Cold winter.
winter. Cold winter. Um, so you have snow there. You're not having snow. You have snow on your in the chat, but hopefully you're not having snow there. I don't think so.
They're getting to enjoy their summer.
Yeah, I have oh a friend of mine that was at the sound bath on the weekend, or like not last weekend, the weekend before. she was wearing linen, and I just loved her dress. And she said, yeah, she's gotten some clothes because her son is getting married in Australia, and she has to make sure that she's going to be cool when she goes there.
There you go.
Yeah.
So when you do the sound bowls, you're playing with frequencies as well.
Hmm.
Do you have certain ones that you know are going to put people into a REM state or a delta state or theta state when you're doing the bowls?
Yeah, so 852, and even with the tuning forks as well. So because that is focusing here, so that will like almost immediately calm someone down. A lot of the times, too, I will do the weighted tuning forks, bottom of the feet and chest. And then I don't, some people I have put it on their forehead, but I don't like to do that because you can really feel the vibration in the jaw, right? But even just over, because what's going on here, that will relax them. And I have had people who always fall asleep during a session. And I'm talking the combination, like with Reiki as well. And some people that haven't, who are now falling asleep, right? And right away. I think that,
They're learning.
and yeah, and the energy is changing as well,
I
right?
think that happens in self hypnosis too. They're learning with each time how to take themselves deeper and
Yeah.
quicker. And I wanted to like this brought to mind. I was in a retreat with about 8 women, and they hired a sound practitioner to come in to give us all this. So we were all on like there were a bunch of beds and beanbag, great big beanbag chairs and different relaxing places to lay down. And so most of us ended up in a trance state during
Yeah.
that hour.
Yeah.
And it was pretty
So,
powerful because we saw things and things just came to us.
yes. And a lot of the times, so when it is in the group, everyone is experiencing something different. And I think also, so I start off with a meditation too that kind of guides you into places. And so I've noticed just at the last one that I had in town here, working on a certain bowl, people were shifting, and like you do, you're constantly watching the person, observing what is happening. So I make that connection too, that that bowl is affecting them. So some healing is happening in there, or movement of energy that got them at that place and they needed it. So a lot of
So
the time, pardon?
I was going to say you're hypnotizing people too, but through the sound bowls.
And so, yeah, so some people are working on that chakra, and then you have someone over here who is visualizing, or they feel like they're floating and they're traveling, right? And they're getting other visions. So, yeah, it's really interesting to hear. And that's why I like to also, not just to make sure that everyone has clarity before they leave, but to share their stories, because someone who hasn't been often may have experienced that and weren't really sure. So if you're not sharing, then then they just need to everyone needs to know that it's okay what you have experienced, right?
Exactly. And I think it inspires other people to know that what they are or aren't experiencing is perfectly okay.
Yeah.
It's all
Yeah.
perfect.
Yeah. And also, so with the crown chakra too, that always, and I do have oh, I don't have it out, but I have a pyramid that frequency is so the bottom rim is 1400, so the crown is at 963, but the bottom of that pyramid is 1400, and then the sides I think are at 12. And so that is, I think, I visualize it maybe up higher, like the soul star chakra. And often I will take it around and do over the body just to depending on what they're looking for too. So if they're wanting to call in their guides or their soul, connection with your soul self, people will feel that, and they'll feel the temperature change. They'll feel a chill. So that is opening up your line, right? And
Yeah.
I think the results from the sound bath after doing that, or even in a session, right? A private session, the results are a lot more profound and what they're receiving too,
Right.
just because that connection is a lot clearer. Here she is. She's here. She's
Aw. I love that. I
oh my
love when the animals come in.
yeah. I think she's the little alarm clock or something. You gotta get here.
They're
You
cool.
get back.
So yeah, I
Um,
have a hard time remembering. I work with the chakras, but I always have a hard time remembering all the orders. And I wasn't that interested in art when I was a kid. It wasn't until after my granddaughter passed away, and then we had that. I got that connection to art, so I started. But I decided to make myself a painting where I can. I don't know if you can see that. I'm trying to bring that over closer. Can you see that at all? I
oh,
painted.
the air balloon, hot air balloon.
It's not really a hot air balloon, but it looks
Oh,
almost like. But I painted the colors, the chakra
oh,
colors down and then back up, and so I can just look at that painting when it's finished on my wall, and I'll have a reminder of that all the time.
oh yeah. Um, so and the rainbow too, right? Like, um, so it doesn't, I don't think that the rainbow actually aligns with the chakra colors. I think it's, oh, I'm not sure now. But I just thought it was so, my granddaughter loves drawing rainbows, and she draws them the colors in the exact order, right? Like, so I don't know.
They tried to teach that to me in school, but like I said, it was just one of those weird things and gifts that I feel like I got after my granddaughter and a connection to her. But um, after she passed away, there were a lot of visions, and so there was a lot of times that I would go into trance, just because I don't know if that was part of my healing. It was probably part of my healing, where I would have visions of her in different forms or different places that were familiar of her.
Yeah. And
Pretty
maybe,
cool.
and you were maybe channeling her too, right? Is that how she would come to visit?
Yeah, because the first time after she passed, it was shortly after. I think maybe the day after we found out was I saw her. I saw her room, and I saw a rainbow with all these glitters on it. And she used to have these lights, the rope lights in her room.
Oh,
And so I saw her room with this rainbow and all these glitters. And I was bound and determined that I wanted to create that. And so I finally got something close to it, a rainbow with glitters. I finally figured out how to do that. So I've got a painting over
aw,
my desk of that. But yeah,
aw,
there were like lots of different things, and I would just kind of automatically go into trance during my grief state. And
oh,
I'm sure some of that, yeah, somebody posted the colors, the Roy GB. I waste so much time with that. But yeah, um, it would just kind of take me into trance. And I know other people, when they are grieving too, they a lot of times will go into that trance state. I don't know if it's their guides kind of helping them through it, and it's a part of the healing process.
yeah. And that's, I think that that is part of the healing process, right? To get in
Mhm.
there into that state of mind and do the healing too.
And where you
Um,
can see and know that things are okay.
I'm gonna catch up on these here.
Yeah.
We
So
don't
now
have
our drive
snow
away, they
yet.
have snow. Oh,
Wow. Um, and then these guys are talking Mish.
Mm.
Warm but cold winter. That sounds like a Texas
The one
winter.
time I went to Texas, it was January, and I got there and they were having a blizzard. The very next day, everybody was out in shorts. It was the funniest thing. The weather was really hot.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and even when I went to Florida and so we would go like when it's winter here, so it'd be March break or something like that, right? And so it was their winter also. And they're wearing puffy jackets and things like that, and we're just sweating, right? Because we're just adjusting to the
Yeah,
weather, and it's just so beautiful.
you get acclimated. Yep.
Oh yeah. So I do remember that, learning that.
Yeah.
Red, orange, yellow, green.
And I was like,
Um,
there's other things I want to do. I want to write. I want to do this. I don't
yeah,
want to do it.
and you're really good at the writing too, right? You were also are you in the midst of writing a book?
I wrote one about my mom's life. She had told me stories of her life throughout, ever since I was a little girl. And she'd always tell me, she'd be like, I always wanted to write down these stories. I always wanted to put them in a book, but I know I could never do it. I don't have what I need, but I know that you can do it. You could do it if you wanted to. So she would always send me stories. And so after she passed away, and well, actually, right before she passed away, one of the last conversations we had is, I will write your book, Mom. I promise. I make you a promise right now. I will tell your stories. So I wrote that book. Probably within a year, it was finished, and
Oh,
I went
nice.
back through everything I could find that she had written to me, my memories. I interviewed my brother and sister for some. Um, yeah, it was a very wonderful labor of love. So I have a book about, some of them are about when she grew up in World War II and her parents would go out helping people to get to shelters and leaving the kids with the next door neighbors so that they could do that. Lots of cool things.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Did you get any signs from her when you finished it?
Um, a little bit. A lot of times I hear words in my head, like I did it, Mom. She goes, I know, I'm proud of you,
Aw.
that kind of things, and the feelings. And then she passed away like 6 months before Gracie did. And I swear, and my sisters too, that she passed away because she knew that Gracie would need her.
Yeah.
So that gave us some
Oh.
comfort too.
Oh yeah, for sure. She was there waiting for her. Yeah.
So yeah, I have conversations with her. There's more stories, that I keep coming up with, and I want to write about my grandparents and their lives, and you know, I have a million stories inside my head. But they
Yeah.
say there are million things, a million reasons or something. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's time to get those out and share them with
So
everyone.
I am always writing. Sometimes I'll wake up at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I call it the witching hour, and I'll come out with poems. I wrote one not too long ago, and I posted it on my page. And then I'll get up sometimes because there's no point in laying in bed and thinking about the same thing. I just get up and start writing.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's in there and that's probably the reason that it's keeping you up, right? So once you release it, then you can close it and get some rest.
So I have a whole bunch of notebooks and a whole bunch of Word documents with a lot of writing in there. It's just gonna kind of put it together.
Oh, that's great. Okay, so we're just a little bit over. I hope that's okay. But maybe if you want to tell everybody about what time your show is on tomorrow,
Sure.
and also your YouTube channel or how to connect with you.
So I think on YouTube, I don't have a whole lot on there yet, but it's Linda Nelson videos, I think is what they gave me for a thing on there. And then the Cosmic Cushion tomorrow, we're going to be talking about backyard herbs, how you would go about identifying them. We're not going to go into a whole bunch of specifics, but how to identify them, what things to look out for, what things you should be careful of, and that sort of thing. And that will be at 12 noon Pacific and 3 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow on the Rift here.
Okay. 3 p.m. Actually, you know what? I think at 3 p.m. I will be able to watch you tomorrow live. Yeah,
Yes,
that
that'll
would be
be.
great. I love that. And there was one Saturday that I could watch Susan, and I was so excited to do that too. So,
She is
it's,
so good. She's so good.
yeah,
Everything she touches, it like turns to gold nuggets, and
yeah,
like, it's great.
yeah. And so Susan is Saturday at noon, right?
Yes.
Yeah, for
And she
hers.
does a
Okay.
reading for everybody in the room. I have never seen her leave anybody out of that room, out of the
Yeah,
reading.
yeah. And they're so perfect. Like they're so
Hmm.
bang on. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great.
Thank you for having me. This was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. It was so fun. Let's see. Oh, Denise is saying,
Thank you, Wish.
great chat, very interesting. Thanks for sharing. Have a
Thanks,
great week.
Denise.
Yes, you have a great week too, Denise.
Yeah.
Um, and
Well,
Mish is
thank you,
also saying
everybody.
hugs and thank you. And Adam, great show. I think next week, so next week we're coming up close to a full moon.
Yeah.
I think it'll be the 27th and the full moon will be a couple days. So I might do a meditation, a little bit of, I'm going to try and do the crystal bowls
I
next.
love your meditations and bowls.
Yeah. I love doing the meditations too, just because of that visual as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're very helpful, I think. Well, I hope they're helpful for
And with the
people.
full
So.
moon coming, we can't beat that.
Yes, yes, we need a good release. And from what Joni was saying, that there's something special about this full moon coming. Yeah, so we'll have to listen to her on
Yeah.
Wednesday
I,
and
yeah,
find
I
out
love
what's
listening to
coming.
her.
Yeah,
There's so many good shows on this network. I can't.
yeah,
It's hard to watch them all.
yeah, it is. Okay, so well, thank you very much for being on with me tonight, and I'll have you on again, and we
My
can dive
pleasure.
into some other topics too, if you like.
Sure.
Yeah, so I want to thank everyone in the chat and everyone for sharing out for us tonight, and we will see you all next week. So thanks
Bye,
again.
everybody.
Thanks, Linda.